Look, we see it literally every single day out on the course. Golfers are dropping serious cash on premium golf balls, expecting their scores to just magically drop.
But they don't, do they? You step up to the tee, stripe one deep into the woods, and suddenly you're out $4. Poof, gone. Today we're settling a massive value battle. We've got the TaylorMade Tour Response up against the Callaway Supersoft.
Right, one brings real cast urethane to the table, while the other is one of the softest two-piece distance balls you can legally play. And guess what? The more expensive option is definitely not always the right choice for your bag.
We're going head-to-head to show you exactly what your scorecard actually needs without completely emptying your wallet.
Welcome back to Golf Gear Showdown, where we use this explainer to break down the specs and the harsh reality of what actually goes in your bag.
Think about the last time you walked into a pro shop. You look at that giant, intimidating wall of boxes and you immediately get pushed into one of two camps.
The first camp tells you to buy urethane so you can rip it backward on the green like a tour pro.
And then camp 2 taps you on the shoulder. They tell you, hey, you aren't good enough for spins, so just buy the soft, cheap stuff and try to hit it straight.
Pick wrong, and you either overpay for performance you never even use, or you go cheap and literally give away strokes around the green. So let's look at what's actually inside these things based on design intent. The Tour Response is TaylorMade's big answer for the urethane camp. They packed a 7D compression core into a 3-piece design. It actually borrows tech right out of their premium TP5 family, but it's specifically tuned for swings under 105 miles an hour.
And then Callaway's Supersoft completely dominates the other side. I mean, it is the best-selling version of Camp 2 in America for a reason. 2 pieces, a really durable hybrid cover, and a compression in the upper 30s. That is basically a marshmallow compared to most of the shelf.
We're grading this matchup across 6 brutal rounds to find out which ball actually saves you strokes. No fake robot numbers, no fence sitting allowed.
We're judging distance, forgiveness, accuracy, feel, and of course, value. Plus, we're going to match the exact right ball to your specific swing type.
Oh, and stick around for the value round, by the way. There is a massive twist there that almost every single golfer completely misses, and it could honestly save you a ton of cash. Let's get into it. Round 1 is distance and launch. The Supersoft uses traditional distance ball physics. You get a big, soft core that drops spin right off the driver, which translates to a high, super easy launch. When a ball spins less, it flies straighter and rolls out way more when it finally lands.
Hold on a second, Mike. For an everyday 15 handicapper like me, that low spin is absolutely everything. If you have a moderate or slower swing speed, that combination physically feels like free yards.
That's true, but multi-layer balls like the Tour Response are specifically designed to keep driver spin low, while still ramping up spin down through the bag.
Yeah, but off the tee, most weekend warriors won't see a huge gap. For those slower swings needing that high hot launch, the Supersoft takes it. Round 1 winner is for sure the Callaway Supersoft.
Moving right into round 2, we're talking forgiveness. Let's be totally real here. A golf ball cannot fix your terrible swing. It's just not happening. But what it can do is refuse to overspin when you hit a massive block or swipe right across it with an open face.
Exactly. And the Supersoft relies entirely on its low compression and low spin profile to help bail you out.
Hit the nail on the head. If you slice it, a low spin 2-piece ball physically curves less than a high spin ball. That is not just marketing hype, guys, it's just basic physics. Now, Tour Response is surprisingly forgiving for a urethane ball, but it still grips the face. When you put a genuinely bad swing on it, urethane holds that slice curve a little longer.
Which means round 2 goes to the Callaway Supersoft. It's the definitive winner for anybody out there fighting a big miss off the tee.
Okay, let's just pause right here for a second. We know the Supersoft handles the long game really well for average swings.
Right, but does greenside spin actually lower your score?
That is the million-dollar question, because round 3 completely flips the script on what actually matters for your scorecard. If you thought this was just going to be a clean sweep for the budget ball, you're about to be really surprised. Round 3 covers accuracy, control, and short game consistency. Look, accuracy isn't just about hitting the fairway. It's about whether the ball actually listens to you from 100 yards and in.
Now, the Supersoft isn't helpless here. Modern hybrid covers are way better than the literal rocks we used to play back in the day. However, it will absolutely release and roll out more on your pitches.
And that is exactly why Tour Response absolutely owns this category. Cast urethane physically grabs your wedge grooves. Pitch shots actually check up instead of skidding 10 feet past the hole. Half wedges land and they actually sit. When you can stop a ball near the pin, you turn 3 shots into 2. That shows up on your scorecard way more often than maybe getting 5 extra yards off the tee.
I really can't argue with that kind of stopping power. Round 3 winner is clearly the TaylorMade Tour Response.
Round 4 is all about feel and confidence. This is where the whole psychological side of golf really kicks in. Common feedback suggests the Supersoft feels exactly like its name. It is heavily muted, deeply cushioned, and some guys absolutely love that marshmallow sensation off the club face.
But others totally hate it. They say it feels completely dead, making it pretty much impossible to tell a dead center strike from a toe hit. The Tour Response, on the other hand, drops that clicky sound for a dense thump, but it gives you actual usable feedback off the putter face.
See, I personally like knowing exactly where I hit it on the blade, but since feel is totally subjective, we're drawing a hard line here. If you want maximum cushion, Supersoft wins your vote. If you demand a reliable putter feedback, Tour Response takes the round. We're calling this one a tie based on your personal preference. So we are completely split going into the absolute most important category for your wallet.
Everybody wants tour performance, but literally nobody wants to pay tour prices. It's the ultimate golf dilemma.
So can you actually get premium spin for budget money? Let's reveal the smart shopper move that is going to completely change how you buy golf balls from now on. Round 5 tackles price and value. At full retail, there's a very clear tier gap. The Supersoft lives right in that budget bracket, while the Tour Response is a real step up in price. Over a long season, losing a sleeve every single round makes that price gap extremely loud.
Right, so Supersoft wins, right? Case closed.
Actually, scratch that, not so fast. Here's the insider move. Urethane balls drop hard in price on the used market. Plus, previous generation models get heavily discounted the second a new box hits the shelf. If you buy last gen or near mint used Tour Response, you get real urethane performance for Supersoft money.
Okay, that is brilliant. So at retail, Supersoft is the clear value winner, but on the secondary market, Tour Response absolutely steals the crown.
So we have a seriously tight battle on our hands here. Which ball actually fits your specific swing? Coming up next, we are firing through round 6 to map these exact balls to your handicap, your swing speed, and your biggest misses. Get your bag ready because you're about to find your match.
All right, rapid fire time. Let's assign these out. Brand new beginners who are still losing sleeves every weekend.
Supersoft, for sure.
Slower swing speeds and seniors wanting an easy high launch.
Supersoft again.
Slicers who desperately need less curve off the tee.
Gotta go Supersoft.
Okay, what about mid-handicappers who keep the ball in play and actually practice their wedges?
Tour Response all day long.
And anyone in that 85 to 105 swing speed range wanting tour-style spin, but without the tour price tag.
That is Tour Response. Honestly, guys, if you shoot in the 90s, you are the exact golfer this explainer is made for. Go buy a sleeve of each and let your wedge play break the tie.
Before we give you the final overall verdict, we absolutely need to talk about the biggest buying mistake out there. Listen up, because most of you choose a golf ball solely based on how it feels coming off the driver.
We see it happen constantly.
But think about it. You hit maybe 14 drivers around. You hit way more wedges, chips, and putts. Choosing a ball for the longest club in your bag is completely backwards. The cover material matters the most on the shots closest to the hole, and that is the exact part everybody skips when they're testing a new ball. Let's trade fast, honest pros and cons. No brand protection here whatsoever. Tour Response pros: genuine cast urethane cover, really great greenside grab, and strong putter feedback. Cons: most golfers report that urethane scuffs much faster than ionomer, and like we said, it will hold your slice a lot longer.
Fair enough. Supersoft pros: incredible value, super easy to launch, and noticeably straighter tee shots. Cons: you get noticeably less greenside bite, hybrid covers just release a lot on pitches, and that ultra soft feel is incredibly polarizing. Neither ball is flawless, and that is exactly why you need to know your own game.
All right, time for the final verdict matrix, best overall for the average American golfer. We are giving it to the Callaway Supersoft because it simply fits more golfers, more of the time, for a lot less money.
Best for beginners, overall distance, max forgiveness, and full retail value goes to the Supersoft 2.
But best for mid-handicappers, short game control, and the used market, that is firmly the TaylorMade Tour Response.
Here is the absolute bottom line. Skip the Tour Response if you are still losing multiple balls around. You should never, ever buy spin if you are just hitting it straight into the pond.
All right, it's your turn to make the call. Which one is going in your bag? The Tour Response or the Supersoft? Drop it in the comments right now with your handicap and your usual miss. We actually read them, and your picks directly decide our next showdown.
Speaking of which, you will not want to miss the next one. We are putting the legendary Pro V1 up against the Chrome Softs in a massive heavyweight clash.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more golf gear showdown. Golf gear head to head. We will see you in the next